Hello there, and welcome to the final milestone of 85k population, but not the final episode of this series. I am looking forward to reaching over 100k population while maintaining our astonishing 92% traffic flow, and I will also showcase on how to utilize the underused monuments in Cities Skylines. But first things first, and that is we need to reach the final milestone, which is just 10k population away. This is Captain Ahvious, and you are watching the final milestone of our Let's Play series, Organic Road Layout, episode 13. While we finish our riverbank in the background by adding some zoned buildings and additional fishing harbors, I will enumerate the goals for this episode. Other than reaching the final milestone, we will also add in our second campus and also get it to the prestigious level 5 reputation. Some may struggle to getting the second campus to level 5, but you need not worry because there is a trick to easily reach level 5 of your campus. And when we get to the final milestone, it will unlock all the buildings. Then we will place down our much needed cargo airport hub, which brings in cargo airplanes, and it also has a cargo train terminal. And of course, no city is complete without a chirpy launch site. This will give us a top view of our city as it launches into space. And the last but not least, we will place down our very first monument. Here we will place our second campus, which is right across the train metro hub. And of course, we will utilize a city park to help generate additional income in each new expansion. The real question is a second campus necessary? You can also entirely not make a single campus and just opt to use the generic university, which has a smaller footprint in your city. The smaller footprint will give you more space to zone and grow more. But if your goal is growth, then you should be aware that it doesn't take 9 max tiles to reach 100k population. It is actually possible to reach 100k population in 7 tiles or less. So what will you do with the remaining tiles? Hence why building campuses, parks, and industry DLCs will help fill those empty spaces. But overall, it really depends on the player on what your personal goals are and what city looks good for you. So we have our second campus at level 1 all set up. It has sufficient attractiveness. As you can see, it is 245 over 200. And to get academics works is actually easy enough. All you need to do is just max the funding for the academic staff and also give research grant in order to get academic works, which is right here. So what is the trick to quickly add more students? Well, the campus trick is to first delete any generic universities you may have in your city. And the fastest way to find it is just go to this tab and then click on the university and it will highlight. So we have 2. So I'm going to delete this and I'm going to delete that. Let's check again. Okay, so everything else here is just campus university. All right, there you go. And after you delete the generic universities, then you can deactivate select buildings from the first campus. So for example here, we are going to deactivate the liberal arts dormitory. All you have to do is search where it has student number. So here we go. I'm gonna deactivate that, deactivate this. Some buildings don't have any of these, like for example the fountains have no student count, so you can just leave those alone. All right, I'm going to proceed deactivating all these. Okay, this doesn't matter. Okay, that one has that. This one, that one, this doesn't matter. Okay, that one, and I believe I got them all. Oops, still a few left. This is the main building. You don't need to deactivate that one. You actually need those. Okay. All right. There is a building though. These are the no. This one's also not necessary. Okay, so for the School of Education, this is a unique building that is found at the very end. So that is all the way here. So these you can build multiple times, but these are unique buildings. So for example, the School of Education, you should not deactivate, including the School of Environmental Studies and the School of Economics. Simply because the School of Education helps improve the education in your entire city. So they are educated more efficiently. While the School of Environmental Studies, as you can see in the description down here, it reduces the garbage accumulation of your entire city. So that helps a lot. And the last one, the School of Economics, helps increase the revenue of your office zone. So all of these are actually very beneficial for your city. And this is actually the entire reason why you should be building a campus. It's because of these little perks. And also it will give you positive income in the end. Look at that. So you get money from the tuition, and you also get a global or a citywide perk for your entire city. So as a result of deleting the generic universities and deactivating the buildings from the first campus, the students from the first campus will simply transfer to the second campus that will boost the needed number of students to level up. That is by far the easiest way to increase the student count. When you're at level 4 and are still struggling to reach that level 5, you may also deactivate the unique buildings from the first campus at the end of the school year. And when you reach the prestigious level 5 of your second campus, that's when you can reactivate all the buildings from the first campus. Don't forget to place down the 3 unique campus buildings when they become available. At level 1 in our trade school campus with an unrecognized reputation, the police academy is available, which increases the jail cell capacity, police patrol car quantity, and overall police efficiency. Since we have unlocked all buildings by reaching the final milestone of 85k population, we can now add in the cargo airport hub, which brings in cargo by plane and by train. This hub will help feed the resources needed for our ore and oil industries. Since this is a 100% vanilla modless city with no unlimited resources, we'll have to rely on various cargo stations to feed our industries. It is indeed a challenge, yet we can manage. We have finally unlocked the last remaining tile, which enables us to connect our highways together. Then we will further expand in this area and place down the Chirpy launch site so we could launch a rocket and have an extreme top view of our city. At level 3, which is the renowned reputation of our trade school campus, the School of Tourist and Travel becomes available. The perk of this unique campus building increases the attractiveness and entertainment of leisure buildings, and more importantly, it also increases the income from all commercial buildings. When you need to increase the student capacity of a campus, place down auditoriums that have a student capacity of 600 students per building. The auditorium is available for all campus types. And when you need to increase the campus attractiveness, just spam a bunch of fountains, so don't be shy on placing 2 or more fountains next to each other. Now that we've reached level 5 of our second campus, I have reactivated all the buildings from our first campus. At level 5, feel free to delete duplicate buildings and rearrange your other buildings when necessary. Place down the unique School of Engineering structure, which increases all generic zone industry income, and it also reduces the city water consumption and sewage. Lastly, we are going to add the very first monument in our city. If you're not aware of what monuments are, that is this triangle button down here right next to the landscaping tools. So monuments are buildings with overpowered perks. And since we are not playing with any mods, then this is the next best thing. Though you do not need all of them, but a lot of them are quite useful. So the first monument that we will build is the fusion power plant, and I will explain why every mayor should be getting this monument. But first, let's check the health of our city. Let's check the traffic flow. So we're at 91% with this new area. Okay, so that is good. 91, 92, that's pretty good. Now let's go add in the requirement for the fusion power plant. So we need to construct a tax office. So all the buildings are over here. These are unique buildings, and we need a tax office, which is found right here. If you do not have this unlocked, I suggest that you go about unlocking the unique buildings, because in the long run it will be quite beneficial, especially when you are able to use monuments in your city. So what else do we need? Do we need a fountain of life and death? That is found right here. And we also need a modern art museum and a science center, if I am correct. So this is the science center. I'll place that right here, and a modern art museum, just as expected, right here. And lastly, some other building I can't recall. That is the Plaza of the Dead. There you go, Plaza of the Dead right there. Okay, so now that should give us the fusion power plant. I will place her down here, and as soon as you place that down, you can go ahead and delete the required buildings. You can place them anywhere around your city if you want to, but in my case, I will just delete them. However, let's say you do not have this fusion power plant. So the best next thing to power up your entire city is using the nuclear power plant. I will just relocate this right here, but most of our power actually comes from the solar updraft tower, because it is just more appealing to look at, right, compared to nuclear power plants. But we will delete these. They are no longer necessary, and what we need is to place in more nuclear power plants. Where is she? There it is. One there, and oops, that's too many. We just need 3, I believe. Let's make sure all of this is connected. There and there. Okay, so everything should power up, and let's compare. So this costs 8,000 per week, and the output, wait, let's turn this guy off. So we've turned that guy off, and there is, yes, there is water. So the upkeep is 8,000, output is around 2,000 megawatts. That's for 3 nuclear power plants, and it's not even maxed, right? So 8 multiplied by 3, that is 24. So it costs us 24,000 for having these 3, and that will continue to increase as our population grows. So let's compare that with a fusion power plant that costs us 8,000, while the output is 16,000 megawatts compared to the 2,000 megawatts for 3 of them. So it is definitely much more cost efficient. So therefore, these are now obsolete. We will delete all of that, and we will relocate her to her final home, which will be right here. There we are. And of course, do not forget to place down your fire stations near your power source, because it will be a disaster when this thing burns down and you have no power. Okay, we'll put a police helicopter right there. This looks like a nice spot. At least it fills the area out. So the fusion power plant is just one unique building. There are more buildings here which are definitely much more useful for your entire city. For example, the Eden project will basically level up all your buildings. So, but that will give a massive influx of people moving in. Therefore, there will also be an equal amount of death waves. So be very careful in how to do this. But there is a technique which we will show in the upcoming episodes. If you enjoyed the episode, if you enjoyed the video overall, please consider subscribing, and thank you for watching. This is Captain Ahvious, and I will see you again in the next episode.